Listen, we get it. Sometimes it's difficult to afford all the games you'd like when you have more boring things to pay for, like bills or food, which is why, in this video, we're listing our top 10 free-to-play games on PlayStation 5. These are all the games you can find in the free-to-play section on the PlayStation Store, and don't forget, you don't need an active PlayStation Plus membership to play these games online, because they are free. In order to qualify, the games on this list must have a native PS5 version, so we won't be mentioning our favourite PS4 games still available via backwards compatibility. Before we begin, do make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of our top 10 lists, then grab your favourite snacks and let's get stuck in. Fortnite probably deserves a list of its own at some point, such as the scale of Epic's, epic. While the game's Battle Royale mode catapulted Fortnite to phenomenal success back in 2018, it's since ballooned to the sort of pop culture status most games can only dream of, so ubiquitous you're probably playing it right now. Fortnite's main draw remains its genre-defining last player standing mode, especially since you can now play Fortnite OG to relive the heady days of Salty Springs. But if that isn't your thing, there's an abundance of extra activities to enjoy. Want to build an architectural masterpiece in creative mode? Go for it. Start a Lego commune with your online pals? Sure, why not? Or fancy kart racing in a mode built by the developers of Rocket League? Fortnite is packed with things to try, aside from just shooting each other, and it's literally being given away. For a slightly, and I do mean slightly, more grounded experience, consider our next pick, Destiny 2. It's difficult to overstate the significance of Destiny. It's one of the tightest FPS games around, with an ever-growing arsenal of interesting weapons, battle-shifting abilities, and a story that has kept people entranced for over a decade. We still hold that the 6-player raids are the best FPS dungeon-crawling co-op experience available on PlayStation. And right now, with a library spanning over 20 seasons of raids that rotates weekly, it'll take a while to see it all. You don't have to worry about not having played the first game either, as new players get a guided tour through the lore after creating their own character. Basically, while the best time to start playing Destiny was when it came out, because it's awesome and you'll have missed out on some great times, the second best time is right now. Let's change gears and take a look at my first Gran Turismo, an introductory edition of the PlayStation's ultimate driving simulator. If Gran Turismo 7 is the 10-course tasting menu, then my first Gran Turismo is the sample platter, featuring bite-sized portions of everything the main menu has to offer, including 3 race events, time trials, and license tests. Just like the real racer, you have to start with lessons on basic maneuvering in nimble hatchbacks before you can sit behind the wheel of the bright red Lamborghini. But once you have finished all the training events, you can sharpen your racing craft on 3 iconic GT circuits: Kyoto Driving Park, Deep Forest Raceway, and Trial Mountain Circuit, with any of the 18 cars available. Bonus tip, if you're an existing Gran Turismo 7 player, you can download My First GT for free to unlock these cars and import them into your existing garage. Perfecting your skills and setting new lap records make My First GT very replayable, though once you've got to that point, you're probably ready to move on to Gran Turismo 7 itself. Moving into a different realm entirely, our next game is The Sims 4. The core of this long-running virtual world is available for free on PS5, with various paid-for packs and expansions to round out your experience. Ways of playing The Sims have become more sophisticated along with the game itself. Some players focus on building, sharing tips online about how to apply the perfect trim to the perfect house. Others concentrate on making and customizing Sims, and others still actually play the game, or what's known as live mode, and yes, that is the official pronunciation, in which the simulation progresses and the lives of your Sims take place. Old school sadists can still mistreat their Sims imaginatively, although they have learned to climb out of swimming pools if you remove the ladder, and really the point here is that there is no single way to become obsessed with The Sims. The burden of that choice is yours. Our next pick is Call of Duty Warzone. This massively popular free-to-play mode of the legendary shooter franchise combines the series' trademark gunplay with all the inherent drama of a battle royale. Warzone hasn't just served up a solid version of a winning formula though, it's introduced various twists to help it stand out from the crowd as well, like the ability to deploy fully customizable loadouts on the battlefield, just like regular multiplayer, so you dominate the map with a handcrafted weapon before accidentally swapping it with ground loot. Also, Warzone has delivered the fan favourite Resurgence mode, basically aggressive mini battle royales that take place on a smaller map and include time-based respawns that put you and your comrades back in the action nice and quickly. Please note that neither Access nor Activision are responsible for arguments between party members due to the nature of Resurgence lobbies, but Activision are responsible for letting you have these arguments free of charge. Next up is Valorant, the tactical hero shooter from the team behind League of Legends. If tactical hero shooter sounds like a mashup to you, then you're spot on, but it's a pile of buttery and fluffy gaming mash that'll have you asking for seconds. Valorant takes the strategic bomb rush and pixel-perfect gunplay from games like Counter-Strike and gives players Overwatch-style abilities to ramp up the pressure, meaning coordination is more important than ever. If being one-shotted across the map sounds too stressful for you, trust me, we get it, you can always check out the team deathmatch and free-for-all modes to brush up on your gunplay before diving into the main event. It's worth pushing through the learning curve though, because outfoxing the enemy team for a clutch defuse is one of the best thrills on PS5. Our next pick is Rocket League, a game with one of the best elevator pitches in history. What if football, but with rocket cars? It practically sells itself, and it's practically impossible that you aren't familiar with it already. Rocket League has been a staple for years now, and for good reason. It's fun solo, but works best as a party game, whether you're teaming up against the AI or having epic friend versus friend showdowns. Few gaming moments can match the feeling of teetering on the edge of control, your car and the ball gliding across the pitch, only to slip an absolute screamer past your motorised nemesis. Although the magic of the game is that it feels almost as good to simply ram the ball haphazardly until you fluke a goal, which is more our speciality. They all count. Given how popular hero shooters are, it's surprising that it's taken this long for a superhero shooter to appear, but now Marvel Rivals is here, wall to wall with your favourite characters and locations from arguably the most successful comic book pantheon of all time, and also exceptionally fun to play. Rivals offers the kind of window into Marvel's universe that makes you wonder why it hasn't existed for ages. Plus, there's an ingenious team-up system that means you can combine the powers of your favourite superheroes to make the tactical equivalent of an atomic bomb. For every passive buff like removing reloads, there are web bombs, invisibility cloaks, and the Hulk just hurling Wolverine like a spiky baseball. It's a great time to be a gamer that loves comics and or spiky baseballs. Next, Fall Guys, which is basically a battle royale for people who'd rather go to a trampoline park than paintballing. Fall Guys captures the colourful slapstick fun of classic TV shows like Takeshi's Castle and Total Wipeout, pitting 32 adorable beans against each other in a series of cute but surprisingly cutthroat obstacle races. There's a deeply compelling edge to the format itself, the terror of elimination, the thrill of survival, the ease of just one more go, and an endlessly enjoyable contradiction in the gameplay itself, which seems fun and silly and who even cares about winning, but actually has some serious depth and strategy that can see you cut your odds of surviving significantly. As the game has grown from plucky phenomenon to established giant, it's added various modes. Duos and quads are mainstays, though if we're talking core Fall Guys experience, nothing really compares with the clammy pressure of trying to keep it together in the final round with a crown on the line. For our last pick, we've rather appropriately chosen The Finals, a team-based first-person shooter built around a fictional game show. You and your team duke it out against enemy squads in a variety of objective-based game modes involving stealing safes and collecting cash. While the cool premise and excellent gunplay is certainly a draw, the most exciting element the game has to offer is its destructible environment, or more specifically, ability to reduce said environment to rubble and use the holes you just made for express bullet delivery. This isn't just limited to blowing through a wall to get the bad guys either. Set explosives on the roof below the objective and literally take the floor out from underneath your opponents. The Finals is very much the epitome of, if you can think it, you can probably do it, by blowing something up. And that means you'll be performing reverse architectural surgery until the cows come home. Or at least until you get killed by another team doing the same thing. And that's the end of our list of the top 10 free-to-play games on PS5. Let us know if we've missed any of your favourites in the comments. Give this video a like if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe to PlayStation Access for more from the world of PlayStation. See you next time.
PlayStation